Overcoming the fear of the dark. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Lily who was deathly afraid of the dark. She would always turn on the lights and sleep with them on, even during the day. She was afraid of the shadows, the unknown, and the silence. Lily's fear of the dark started when she was a young child. She had a nightmare about being lost in a dark forest and being hunted by a monster. She woke up screaming and never forgot that feeling of terror. Ever since then, she was afraid of the dark and avoided it at all costs. One day, Lily went camping with her friends in the wilderness. They set up their tents and went to sleep, but in the middle of the night, a storm hit and knocked out the power. Lily was plunged into complete darkness and she was paralyzed with fear. Her friends tried to comfort her, but nothing seemed to work. However, her friends reminded her that they needed to start a fire to keep warm and to cook their food. Lily had to gather firewood in the dark forest. At first, she was terrified and could barely take a step, but with the encouragement of her friends, she slowly started to venture into the darkness. As she walked through the forest, she began to notice the sounds of the night and the stars shining bright above her. She also noticed the beauty of the forest, the plants, and the creatures that lived there. She soon realized that the darkness wasn't so scary after all. In fact, it was peaceful and calming. The next day, they found the power source and turned it back on, but Lily decided to turn it off and continue her journey in the dark. She wanted to face her fear and overcome it. She learned that the darkness was just a state of mind and that she had the power to control her own thoughts. Lily returned home from her camping trip a changed person. She no longer feared the dark and slept peacefully with the lights turned off. She had conquered her fear and was no longer afraid of the unknown. From that day on, Lily always remembered the lesson she learned in the dark forest. She learned that there is beauty in everything, even in the darkness. She learned that fear is just a perception and that she had the power to control her own thoughts and emotions. She learned to embrace the darkness and to find peace within it. Years passed, and Lily became an adventurer. She traveled to different parts of the world and faced many challenges, but she never forgot the lesson she learned in the dark forest. She knew that fear was just a perception and that she had the power to control her own thoughts and emotions. She faced her fears and overcame them, one by one. Lily became a role model for many people and inspired them to face their own fears. She showed them that fear is just a perception and that they have the power to control their own thoughts and emotions. She showed them that there is beauty in everything, even in the darkness. Lily lived a long and happy life, always embracing the darkness and finding peace within it. She never forgot the lesson she learned in the dark forest and always remembered that fear is just a perception. And that is how Lily overcame her fear of the dark. Thanks for watching and listening. Please don't forget to subscribe and like.